Hi, my name is Taron. I'm one of the scientists here at Hardy Nutritionals. Today I'd like to talk about lifestyle factors as either positive factors or limiting factors in response to taking the daily essential nutrients. First factor I'd like to kind of talk about is heat, sometimes referred to as metabolic heat, acute heat loading. We've found that individuals who've been on medications for a long time will often report back to us that they feel medicated again, they feel drugged again, or they feel certain specific side effects from their medication after exercise, hot showers, saunas, hot tubs, or being out in the sun on a hot day. The literature, at least as far as we've been able to correlate, the literature refers to this as acute heat loading, metabolic heat. But the underlying mechanism that we think is happening there is that the drug kinetics and dynamics become altered as a result of the individual's physiologic response to that heat exposure, to that increase in body temperature. So, as a factor, I guess just be aware that if the patient or if you have had a long history of drug use, medication use, that sometimes some of those drug residues they store in adipose tissue and in poorly perfused tissues, and that as your body heat will increase through internal and external mechanisms, there's a possibility that it may bring out some of those things. Those tend to diminish over time as people have reported that to us. But just be aware that thing happens, right? Another factor, lifestyle factor, is diet. We all do better with a healthy diet, right? That's the truth that's the reality of it. High sugar diets, highly refined diets will cause blood sugars to rise and fall, and that has an impact on an individual's health. It can trigger a stress response. It can It can actually cause mood swings as sugar blood glucose levels rise and fall, especially dramatically. So the healthier you can eat, the better you'll feel, and the better that your body will respond, and just the better your health in general. So that can be a good factor and a bad factor, depending on what you choose to do. All right. Adequate sleep is another factor. The better sleep we get, the better quality sleep we get, and quality sleep also not just means good REM sleep, but it also means an adequate amount of sleep, a quantity of sleep. Sleep helps our brain and our body to reset. Our brain processes daily events and life events while we sleep. It gives the body systems a chance to slow down and recuperate. So sleep and rest is a very important component of health. So if we are chronically not getting enough sleep, find ways to rest, relax, and make good sleep a part of your healthy lifestyle. Another factor is adequate hydration. Water helps our bodies to move good nutrients into the tissues and help move waste products out. And if we don't have adequate hydration, those processes become sluggish and limited. If you wait for the thirst response, you're probably dehydrated. There was an experiment that we did in university where we examined water intake in our class. We had divided the class up into groups, and we measured thirst response to urine output, and found that the individuals that intentionally drank a very limited amount of water to those that drank only when they felt thirsty, they had similar urine outputs, which means that, again, if you just wait for the thirst response, you're not adequately hydrated. So drink enough water that that things start to move, and that might take some time to actually get used to drinking enough water a day, and that's okay. Let that be a process. The next factor is non-compliance, and that's a factor for any treatment really. Some individuals have a hard time taking a lot of capsules, a lot of pills. Right? There were even moments in my own experience where I felt that same way, and I do regularly take the nutrients. But every once in a while, you look at that handful of capsules and go, "This is crazy." And I remember having that experience, and I had to slow down and go, "Wait a minute. I know these nutrients help me to feel better, and I know that this is simply adding nutrient density to the foods I already eat." And so I kind of had to talk myself through that and say, this is improving the quality of my diet, the quality of the food that I eat, and therefore I haven't really finished eating until I've taken these. I haven't completed a good meal until these are part of that meal. So if talking yourself through that and having that conversation with yourself helps you to be more consistent, and making sure that you correlate how your body's feeling with when you take the nutrients versus when you haven't taken them or don't take them. If you take the time to work through that and recognize that it does help, then that's a good thing. And so do that to help yourself be more compliant. The last factor that I'd like to deal with here is physical activity, and this relates back to the metabolic heat or acute heat loading. When you feel better, you want to get out and do things, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's important to be gradual, particularly if you've had a history of medication use. It's important to be gradual at that. If you rush right out and do a lot of physical activity and get that metabolism going, that will have an effect on how you feel in the short term. And like I say, we've had a lot of people that have reported back that they feel drugged again, feel over-medicated, and they get drug side effects, and that they recognize, now I felt that before when I was taking the drug, and why am I feeling it now that I've stopped taking the drug? So as they, again, as your body begins to metabolize lipids and fats and things like that, and start losing weight, feeling healthier, these are things that can happen. Again, they seem to diminish over time, but again, be aware that these things will happen. Be active, but do it carefully and go slowly. And the more slowly you implement physical activity and exercise into your routine, generally the more consistent you will be at it. But just recognize every once in a while you'll hit little pockets like that where you might feel over-medicated or whatnot, and just slow down, relax, and take it easy, but slowly add those things back into a healthy lifestyle. And that's true for weight loss. Don't go too fast at trying to lose weight once you feel better. Again, those same kinds of things can happen. So we hope that at least by bringing these things to your attention, if they apply to you, take note, adjust your lifestyle to mitigate those, to lessen those things, and hopefully then you should have a better outcome and a good response to the nutrients, recognizing these factors.